AITA for snapping at a coworker for stereotyping me. I, 30 am white. However, since I was a teenager, people have assumed I am Jewish, both from my last name and my looks alone. I've taken a DNA test and have zero Ashkenazi Jew ancestry. It's usually benign assumptions. Recently, for some reason, people have been much more bold. It doesn't bother me, but some examples include a cashier telling me I'm quite nice and not stuffy, like those Orthodox Jews, and then ask what temple I go to. A doctor listing diseases I should watch out for, because they're prevalent among my people. Jews, you know, a waitress, upon sitting down at my table, no conversation at all, handing me a chocolate coin with a Star of David. This was nice. Not sure if it's a Jewish thing, but I ate it, lol. First, I find it odd people just straight up assume I'm Jewish and then inject that into the conversation. I also assume they somehow stereotype me now, because of the following interaction. At lunch, I covered my coworkers. They were paying me back. And another chimes in, lol. I thought Jews were supposed to be stingy. I turned to him and snapped, I'm not Jewish and I don't know why you'd think it's appropriate to stereotype like that. It made everything uncomfortable, and some coworkers are saying it was just a joke, and I took it too harshly. AITA for snapping? InTA. First, they stereotyped you. Second, what they said was anti-Semitic. You should be mad at both. NTA, this ain't a joke, it's an anti-Semitic bias coming from the Middle Age. Jews have often been stereotyped as greedy and miserly. This originates in the Middle Ages, when the Church forbade Christians to lend money while charging interest, a practice called usury, although the word later took on the meaning of charging excessive interest. Jews were legally restricted to occupations usually barred to Christians, and thus many went into moneylending. This led to, through the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, the association of Jews with greedy practices. Wiki. NTA, even if you were Jewish. What a stupid thing to say in the workplace. You could easily get them written up for stuff like that. Also, why do people try and pass off ignorance as jokes? Regardless of your background or ethnicity, that comment was highly inappropriate and offensive. Emo, everyone should have objected, and anyone who thinks differently is wrong. NTA. NTA. I'd hope any Gentile would snap back at that stupid bigoted line. NTA, what they said was completely rude, inappropriate and anti-Semitic. They are stereotyping, but they are stereotyping Jewish people rather than you in particular. So personally, while I get the anger at the constant misidentification, I think the anger should be more directed at the fact they are basing their judgments of you on their own prejudiced beliefs of Jewish people rather than you. If that makes sense. Again, your anger is completely justified either way. NTA. Being you must be annoying as hell. Or as Jahannam, I guess. By the way, what were you coworkers thinking? That it would be better if he made anti-Jewish joke to an actual Jew? NTA. Welcome to, your reaction was inappropriate to a thing that doesn't offend me personally. Territory. Everyone who's ever been subjected to racism has been more harshly criticized for reacting to it than the person who committed the initial offense. The victims of discrimination are always expected to be polite, understanding, and charitable to whatever class, race, gender, etc. that is the offending party in the moment. It is in their best interest to dictate how their victims are allowed to respond to them, and they are raised accordingly. No. NTA. And I think the only thing your coworkers should have said is, message received. Your coworkers do not have a right to make lowbrow jokes at work. Anti-Semitism isn't a joke. NTA. As a Jew who looks British AF, you are NTA. They stereotyped you based on looks and the anti-Semitic assumption that Jewish people are stingy face with rolling eyes. The chocolate coins are a Hanukkah tradition. Look up Hanukkah gelt, that originate from people exchanging gold for labor. NTA, racism and jokes don't go together. That coworker is lucky they weren't reported to HR. Yikes. Anti-Semitism isn't cool and foul. Edit to add. NTA. NTA. You were stereotyped. And all these interactions are blatant anti-Semitism. Except for the waitress with the chocolate Star of David coin. These examples are actually quite terrifying. Along with rising racism and queerphobia, anti-Semitic attacks are also on the rise. But they aren't reported as much because it tends to be casual. Microaggressions like these. Your coworkers thought they were joking. Where did they learn these jokes? You didn't snap. Firstly, you were correcting an assumption. Second, you were protesting their use of a negative stereotype. Be more mad at the racism than the racism towards you, but NTA. OMG NTA. Wow, what a seriously disgusting comment. Even if you're not Jewish, it's so uncomfortable to hear someone use a stereotype in such an offhand way. Some people need to check their anti-Semitism because this isn't just a joke. If it bothered you so much, imagine if you had been Jewish. Yuck. NTA, and good for calling them out for being racist. NTA and your coworker made a really rude comment. Oz always try to turn their assholery around by saying it was just a joke. INTA. First, they stereotyped you. Second, what they said was anti-Semitic. You should be mad at both. Thinking face, thinking face, thinking face, thinking face. Making anti-Semitic comments isn't funny. So NTA. In fact, you were a lot more restrained than I would be.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.